All right, I guess to start off with Ish gets engaged
That's it.
during the
Give us
midst of coronavirus.
Stillish. Still.
Yeah. So I got engaged 2 weeks ago. I proposed to my sweetheart girlfriend Ariane of 5.5 years, more or less, a little less than that. Um, I guess I'll tell you how I got engaged. In the Filipino culture, we have an event at the engagement called pamamanhikan. Basically, it's when the groom to be brings his family over to the bride to be's house, and seeks their blessing for their engagement. So I told my mom, like, mom, I want to get going with this whole engagement stuff. Is there any Filipino tradition associated with it? And she told me that it's pamamanhikan. So I told Ariane, like, you know, let's do this tradition. Let's get engaged, right? Or let's get the blessings of our parents first before we get engaged. Um, so I was talking more about it with my mom at the beginning of the week on Sunday, and she was saying, "Well, Ismail, in order to properly do that engagement, you have to propose first. The proposal doesn't come afterwards, right? You bring your proposal to the family, and then they bless it." So Ariane was so confused by this. And I just simply told her, don't even worry about it. I'll propose to you in June. So she had no clue. She didn't expect that by the end of the week she would have been engaged. So what I did was I had spoken to a priest friend, mentor of mine, and I asked him if he could open up his parish for me and Ariane to go inside and to pray. So I went inside. The priest
Sneak,
had
sneak.
exposed the Blessed Sacrament for us, and we were able to just pray and be grateful and thankful. And then just like that, I got down on the knee and popped the question. She said yes, and the rest is history. You know.
Wow.
So I guess maybe so that's how I did it. Hopefully there's another Filipino out there listening to this podcast who'll, be able to sympathize and learn something from the whole tradition because it's not very well known anymore. But why did I propose? Or I guess why did I get engaged? Oh man, I feel like I'm just taking up so much airtime.
Yeah, Ish, why did you get engaged?
You're not.
Why did I get engaged?
Explain us.
I think you're just self-conscious about it because you don't like talking about yourself very much. But you're.
No, I don't. I don't.
We're here. We're listening. Please
All right, good. So why did I get engaged? Well, I had been planning on getting engaged for a while. With 100%. With 100% certainty, I knew that for like a long time ago that my vocation was for marriage, right? I wasn't called to be a priest, but with my relationship with Ariane, I had already had the spiritual movements in my heart, knowing that, this is the woman I want to marry. This is the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with, and I want to serve her the rest of my life. So I knew that, she's the one. So I think what was difficult for me was finding out when exactly to propose and to get engaged. And I went through several periods of my life. One where I was recently unemployed, but I mean now I'm working. What was difficult for me though was that I was looking for a job with more security in it for me. So the job that I'm currently working, I started at the beginning of the year. It's for the government. I can't disclose what capacity I work for in the government.
It's definitely the CIA. Okay.
Definitely top secret. Not that he just thinks it's boring. Okay.
Yeah.
It is super top secret.
Yes.
Let's just say I know where you all live. No, I'm joking. I don't.
Yeah, fair. No, I know where you live
But
too.
I was like, I don't think you actually do. I mean, you know where we live, but I don't know if you know where everybody lives.
I worked a job just as a sidebar. Um, I worked a very, very low paying job that allowed me to access everyone's address from York. So
This is true.
the security I have now is nothing compared to the breach that I had experienced before.
This is why
But
York University's entire database got hacked.
yeah, it's pretty much because of
Oh,
me.
man.
I spilled
Oh,
the beans.
jeez.
Damn.
So I'm working this job for the government. Basically they said, I can only work for 90 days in the year. And I was like really scared by that. I was looking for more security. And I was waiting for that security before I proposed. So closer to my engagement with Ariane, we had this like little mini fight, large discussion about proposing and about getting married. And she challenged me and she was saying like, Ismail, if you're called to marry me, are you really going to wait before you get job security to propose, right? Like if the Lord is really calling you to be in this relationship with me, like, don't you think he'll like provide for you and everything you need in order to do this? And so that was really difficult for me. I had to like give that up, that desire to just have everything in my control and in my reach. That desire to know. And I had to kind of dive into the uncertainty and to just offer that to the Lord. So I said, you know what, Ariane, don't worry about it. I will get over it. So I set out to move this engagement process along. I set out to ask about the Pamamanhikan event earlier. And what was really cool is that the day that I did propose, earlier in the morning, I got a call from work and they extended my contract for a year, right?
Mhm.
And I was just totally blown away by
Wow.
how the Lord heard the prayer of my heart, the desire of my heart, and proved to me his love for me by, giving me that security that I had so long desired for the
Mhm.
day that I made the move to get engaged. So
That's amazing. You
yeah,
just put
yeah, it is.
that leap of faith, pretty much.
Yeah. And it is not easy, I'm saying this story very easily because it just happened, but oh man, I can't imagine, well, I can't imagine what it feels like, but for anyone else who's thinking about it, you know, don't expect it to be easy, but be willing. Be willing to give anything you have to the Lord, even if it means your wants and your desires.